Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. My good name is Wamboy. Oh my, it's been a minute since time I live streamed, but here we are. You know, your girl gotta take a break when necessary. So welcome to the live stream. My good name is Wamboy. Let me know how you guys are doing. Um, yep. So today I'm not even ready with questions. So um, I'm gonna take it easy. Oh, this is what I saw. I don't know why I keep doing that. I don't like drinking cold. Okay, I feel like cold water is sweet, but hot water is kind of like better. I don't know if that makes sense. I like my water to be a little bit hot. Uh, but this one is too hot. Okay, so how was your weekend? Yesterday I didn't stream, not to mention even over the weekend I actually didn't stream. But you know what, uh, if you put the type of energy that I put into my work here, live streaming every other time, you kind of need a break once in a while, because that can consume you real quick. Okay, um so I also started streaming early, so I don't know if anyone is going to join. But here we are. Oh, my good friend Sadar Kantu. How are you doing? Good to see you. It's been a minute since I came on here. I think the last time I streamed was maybe on Friday or something. How have you guys been doing? Wow. Hi, the stream a bit head has bad quality. Oh, bad quality? Wow. Thank you for telling me. Uh, I don't know. Guys, I think I'll have to Mark, good to see you, Mark, in the beginning. Okay, so the stream has bad quality, which means I have to figure out something about this entire thing. Kai Sanat women. Okay. Uh mhm. So that I can be able to fix that, I have to maybe exit here for a little bit. You know what? That's what I'm going to do. So that I can change the internet. So in case it kind of goes away for a little bit, guys, hold on. Raj says hi. Where are you from? I hope the quality have improved. Uh, oh, she's from Earth. Okay, you got that part right. She's from Earth. How was your weekend, guys? I actually didn't. I think the last time I streamed was like on Friday or something. It's been such a, sometimes if you put the type of energy, and let me know if I'm back and how is the quality. If you do the type of streaming that I do here, like consecutively, you kind of need a break sometimes. So that's where I was at. Let me know how was your weekend. Honestly, today I don't even have questions, to be really honest. But you're gonna there's some they okay. There's a topic that I had planned for Saturday, but I honestly didn't film. Uh, how is the chicken coop? Oh, you watched that? It's good. It's good. It's good. Unfortunately, the chicken can't sleep there at night because it's kind of cold, so we need to figure that part out. Okay, so today I started streaming early. Didn't know if you guys would join, but okay. How much you pay the men to build it? Oh, I didn't pay them. It's my brothers. But oh, it's my brothers, all of them. Yeah, but Okay, the one who was building, is literally my baby brother. So we kind of just agreed, and I gave him, I think, 1,000 or something. Okay, because it's my chicken, but I just out of my will. Alvin Wen says you're beautiful. Thank you. Let me know where you're watching me from. Let me type that on the screen. You know what? You guys don't like when I do that. Okay, let me know where you're watching me from before we get started. As I told you guys, if I was going to take some time to prepare, then I would end up not streaming today, and I was not trying to do that. So apparently, Maasai elder spits in your face as blessing if marrying their daughter. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. But isn't it beautiful that they have a culture that they still follow up to date? Yeah. But I don't know, almost, I feel like almost everybody in the Western world thinks that Maasai is Africa. Like, uh, I feel like most people want to just look at Maasais and see Africans, like the way of dressing and all of those other things. Seriously, that's considered blessings? Yeah. But I am not Maasai, so, but I am not Maasai, but I'm Kenyan, so I kind of just respect that I am not Maasai, but I know their culture. I also know there's a lot of things that I admire. Their type of way of life. Oh my God, far away from the mainstream. They even drink. What is it called? They even drink raw milk and cow's blood. Like that's part of their tradition. So you just have to, I think for me, I'm just used to, we have a lot of community, like we have 47 tribes in Kenya. 47, can you imagine that? That's a lot of people. It looks like disrespect, but I don't know, in one culture something is normal, in others strange. Okay. Okay. If you would choose any culture, let me type that. If you would choose to be part of any culture, which one would you choose? Wow, where did that go? Okay. And they now live in houses and have phones. They have had phones for so many years. Masai have had phones for so many years. Like, you have to understand, Masais are Kenyans. Even though I don't come from that community, like, I know so much about it. Actually, I had a friend in university. She was Masai, and she was good. She was a bright girl. It's only that maybe they are not given equal opportunities, or maybe their culture does not allow. For most of them, they are confined in their culture. So okay, let me. Mhm. Uh, Loris Pavlite says, "Are you barefoot? No shoes?" Yes. Why? Yeah. No, this is creepy. Like covering my face. No, I am not barefoot. First of all, I'm wearing socks because it's cold. No shoes. Yeah, are you barefoot? I don't have shoes, but I have socks on. Max is subhuman, probably, as I find everyone difficult. Okay. Okay, if you were to okay, if you were to choose to be from any culture apart from the one that you are, which one would you choose? Did you get selfie stick or gimbal yet? No, no, I have not. Like, I honestly, I am thinking about I will buy like a DJI or a GoPro camera. It's way better, but maybe with time. Maybe I'll just stick to doing live stream until who knows when. Yeah. Okay, let me type the question that I'm talking about. Keep telling me where you're watching me from. Mark says apparently a gimbal design is from chicken because you can move a chicken's body about, but its head remains central. Oh, you know what? I honestly, to be really honest, I don't even know what's a gimbal, but I know what's a selfie stick. So I thought it's almost the same thing. Okay. Yeah. Yesterday, there was a place that I went to. It was really beautiful, but I just didn't film because I was like, oh, what's going to be the purpose? Because shaking. But you guys are not ready. I think when I get myself a GoPro or even a DJI camera, oh god, I'm going to show you a lot. I'm going to take you guys home with me. I've been thinking also about moving back to the village, so that is plans underway, but we'll see how that goes. Keep liking the live stream and let me know where you are watching me from. My good name is Omboy. I was born and raised in Kenya, and this is I Am Omboy Live. So basically, I usually have questions every day. So today we are just going to see what we can do. Also, you guys, if you have questions, I think today is your day. If you have questions, Max is up. Sadar Kantu says, I don't imagine myself being part of another culture. No disrespect to other cultures, but I mean, I am fine with the one I am. Though I have to be careful not to make it my whole identity. I am human first. Ooh, that's beautiful. Okay, if you were to choose to come from another culture apart from the one you come from, which one would you choose? Okay, let's say your culture did not exist. Okay, would you want to be part of another culture? Daniel Talika says, you Indian? Who suggests that I might be Indian? Nothing. I am black. Uh, you're not home at the moment. $60 a month. Oh, okay, the place that I stay at. Yeah, no, I'm not home. Like we have a farm. We have a farm. There's a video that I posted, typical village life. That's my home. That's where I come from. So where I stay at right now, I just rent the space. Alvin Wayne says, you single? No. So when you're in the city, where are you now? Away from home. I'm renting a place in another town. Away from home. Guys, keep letting me know how you're doing. Also, if you want to become, okay, let me say, if I was to become part of another culture apart from the one that I am from, I think I would choose to become Swahili. Okay, to become coastal people of Kenya. They speak pretty much good Swahili that I admire. Like if I was to choose or to like switch communities, I think I would want to be a coastal person. I would want to be a Swahili. I would like to be Swahili. If not Kenyan culture, I think I would like to be Black American. If not Kenyan, yeah. Because I also like the way they are more confident. Why can I not call you? Because I I like Wamboi. Uh, Steven Slater says, yeah, why not? I have experienced different cultures and it's very enlightening. Okay, which one would you choose to come from if you were to choose any other culture apart from yours? Your message alert is loud. Okay, does that bother you guys? You know, it is Netflix, Pinterest sending me messages. How about Foy? Okay, Foy is a short form of my name, Wamboi. So I don't know about that. I think Wamboi does well for me. Yeah, you know, I grew up being called uh like an air raid siren. Okay, so does that bother you guys? Should I turn it off? You know, when I first went to university and I realized that I could make up my name. Okay, not make up because it's my name, my middle name, but I have never been the same again. African. Okay, you'd like to be African. Hmm. Why? Oh, you're not African. Okay, I see. Or maybe your brother from Chicken Coop. Wow, brother from Chicken Coop. Okay, all of them, not even one. All of them are my brothers. But I tell you, I come from a world of boys, my friends. I'm not African. Okay, so you would like? Why would you like to be African? Okay, you know what? I think you guys are gonna bear. I don't know. Let me put my phone on do not disturb so that I can type on the screen without you guys saying that sound is annoying. Let me type this. This is the next question. Ugh, I don't know. I don't like the way this thing is covering my face. Oh, I think that's nice. You guys can still see me. Okay. Sada says, I like the Nigerian cultures and also South African ones like Corsa. I really like it, but I wouldn't choose to be part of it. No offense if there are South Africans here. Okay. I kind of like. I think the Nigerian culture is loud. Also that's something. I think that most people who have never been to Africa know about the Nigerian culture because it's so natural in themselves. Not like Kenya. I think like Kenyan right now we mostly adopted the Western culture and stuff like that. We have ours, but it's kind of like we are ashamed of it. So I would also like to look at the Nigerian culture. Uh, Bob, good to see you, Bob. How are you doing? Hi, Muntu says, hi, where are you from? I'm from Kenya. I am from Kenya. Where are you from? Mm-hmm. Sile Mazibuko says, hi. Hi, are you South African? That name sounds South African. Sile, female. Okay. Oh, Bob says, I would choose Ijo Kalabari. From which country? Ijo Kalabari. Which I don't know which country that is from. Max says, "Oh, you chicken coop. Oh, your chicken coop is texting you." I wish it would. Bob says, "There's no one culture. Nigeria has over 300 cultures. How many communities do you have? We have 47 communities in Kenya. So how many communities do you have in Bob, and how many languages are spoken in Nigeria? Sada says, okay, Muntu says, I'm from Zimbabwe. I am also African like you. Okay. Oh, Muntu. You know how we say uh human, or how we say human in Swahili? We say mutu. We remove the N. We say mutu. 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 But in my Kikuyu language, how we say human, we say mondo. So we instead of T, we put a D. I think you are Bantu. I am Bantu. Wow. Sarah says, I noticed that many Africans are more calm, maybe even shy in a way. But Nigerians, indeed, there is so many who are loud, but still, even in Nigeria, people are different. Some are more open, some reserved. I think Nigerians have no apology to offer when it comes to their culture. They are literally proud, and that's what I like. Like, they are just out there, like, they are themselves, okay? Muntu says, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I might sometimes say Mondo because that's how we say in Kikuyu language. We say how to say human or human. We say Mondo. Bob says, Ijo and Kalabari are in Nigeria. Ooh, okay. Over 500 languages. Okay, for those of you who want to like classify Africa as one, can you hear it from Bob? 500 languages in Nigeria only. All these languages I cannot speak, and most of us here cannot speak. In Kenya, there is 47 languages, and I think I can only speak one. Out of the 47, I can speak one. I think I can only speak two, and maybe I can hear from other Bantus. I can understand what they say, but I can't speak that language. Mark says, oh, none. Oh, wow. Introvert like a cat. Leave me alone, society. Okay, so you wouldn't choose any culture. Maybe you'd still want to be who you are. Muntu says, yes, our languages are basically the same. All the way down, South Africa, we are Bantu, the largest group in Africa. Okay, yeah. Here in Kenya, we have Bantus, and we have Bantus, we have Kushites, and we have, what is the other one? Nilotes. Okay, so I am Bantu, which means maybe when I speak, when Ugandans speak Baganda, I can hear something, but not everything something. So yeah, Bantu. But there's the Nilotes. Which country? Okay, if you're from any African country, let me know if your country have Nilotes in your place. Let us keep studying. And also, maybe this is a chance for everybody else to learn. And guys, keep letting me know where you're watching me from. Mutu says, we occupy the most land too, okay? I think you guys, we Bantus mostly occupy South Africa. Because I don't think, is there Bantus in Nigeria? I don't think so. Sada, I think you're retyping the message. Muntu says Nilotes. Do you have Nilotes in your country? Okay. Guys, welcome to the live stream. My good name is Wamboy. Thank you so much for being here. Sada says, I know only one phrase in Nigerian language. I think Igbo, and it's, if not mistaken, Ahuru Mginya. I think that's Igbo. Ahuru Mginanya. Ahuru Mginya. I don't know what that means. I think Igbo is a famous. I think we all think that Nigerians speak Igbo. Okay, so anyone from Nigeria, educate us here. I think it means I love you. Ahuru Mginanya. Ooh, okay. It means okay. Wow. Muntu. Bantu is from Cameroon to East Africa, East Coast, all the way to the southern coast. Yeah. Cameroon. Oh, there's Bantus in Cameroon. Yeah, most coastal people are Bantus. Also here in Kenya, yeah. Igbo is a popular. You know what? I only thought that that in Nigeria there is only two, Igbo and the pig. What is the name of the English that you guys speak in Nigeria? Sarah says, I think it's Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, and more languages. Oh, yeah, Yoruba. Yoruba, I have heard that. I am Yoruba. Oh, Bob says, you can cause a war with that claim that we all speak Igbo. Okay, and see, like, I think this is because that's the only thing that I see on social media. Igbo or Yoruba, that's the only thing that I hear. Muntu says Uganda, DRC, Tanzania, Zambia, and all those places are Bantu. Okay, Tanzania's Bantu, I don't know. Okay, Bob says there's more than those three. Okay, wow. Sarah says Pidgin, I think it's called Pidgin English. Keon Y says hi, good to see you, Keon. I think it's been a minute before I saw you. How are you doing? Wow, yeah, I think, you know what, this is a good representation of those people who want to box Africa into one thing. We are literally not. I'm here arguing because I only thought that there's only one tribe in Nigeria, and apparently not. So we cannot box Africa into one thing. Muntu says, Keon says good, thanks. Okay, that's good to see you again, or good to hear from you. Muntu says half of Africa is Bantu. I don't think so. Ethiopians are not Bantu, are they? Half of Africa is Bantu. Oh, okay, let's start here. Are West Africans Bantu? And this is just out of ignorance. Okay, this is just out of ignorance. I don't know. But I know Sudanese people are Nilots, right? Okay. Okay. Moving on. Next question. Although if you have something to say, you can keep typing about that. The do's and don'ts, male-female friendships. That will be the next question. Wow. I think there's so much to study about Africa than we want to admit. Okay, because even me personally, I'm really confused because I don't know which countries have what and all of that. Yeah, but I don't know if that's a good factor about Africa or a negative factor about Africa. The fact that we have all these tribes. What if we didn't? What if we were just one people, black? What if we were just that? Maybe that could be better, you know? Bob says, I think if West Africans are Bantus, it will probably be Cameroon-Niger corridor. Okay. Okay, so you guys do not divide yourself into that. Okay. Sada says, not to forget, Africa is also widely spoken. Arabic is also widely spoken in Africa, in Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco, Egypt. I think also in Mauritania maybe as well. Yeah, North Africans, they speak Arabic and they look Arabic, right? I think even in the last World Cup, not this one, the last World Cup when Morocco was really scoring and all of Africa was behind Morocco saying, Morocco, African! You know, Moroccans, when they were given a chance to say something, they said they wanted to thank the United Arab Emirates. They didn't mention Africa, and I think that's why this time around people are not backing up Morocco. So, but yeah, for some reason I can see why they don't want to be associated. Okay, but they Africa, the continent, it doesn't matter if they are Arabic or not, right? Okay, but they thank the United Arab Emirates. Yeah, I think they would mostly like to be associated with Middle East. Muntu says from Cameroon to the East Coast all the way down south is Bantu. Even Madagascar has Bantu. Really? Madagascar has Bantus? Didn't know that. Sarah Washington. Hi, Sarah. Good to see you. Ogbe Ogbema China says hi. Hi, welcome to the live stream. How are you doing? Muntu says Arabic is not indigenous to Africa. It's not, but when you look at North Africans, they okay, they mostly want to identify as Arabic. Not to mention they look at Arabic, right? I don't know. I don't know. This is just my assumptions. Sada says, you reminded me Ronaldo lost the World Cup and he was crying. Okay, I think Ronaldo fans, you guys, have you recovered? I think people wanted for him to play to the end. Ooh, okay, yeah. Sarah Washington says United Arab Emirates is bombing Sudan. I don't know about that. Are Amazigh indigenous to North Africa? I think that's the tribe for North Africans. I think it's a something. It has something to related to Arab. Yeah. Sarah says I will just listen and learn. You know what? Me too. Me too. Like I think I have no, but I know when it comes to North Africa. I know when it comes to North Africa, there was a lot to think about, or like, because maybe they're not black, they don't want to be called African because they think African is a term for black people. Okay. Arabic has as much claim to Africa as English. Yeah, especially like for example here in Kenya, there's a lot of, you know, especially there's more Arabic, especially because of Islam. Most people like Tanzania, I think their predominant religion is Islam, so which means they kind of like learn how to speak Arabic so that they can be able to understand the Quran. Buddy Jovi, hey, and okay, good to see you. Wow, I don't know. We are just here discussing. Let me know if you're from West Africa. If anybody knows, are West African people Bantus or are they Nilots? I don't know why it matters, but I think it matters because maybe because I want also to tell people you can't box Africa into one thing. Bob told me that in Nigeria they have over 500 languages. In Kenya we have 47 communities. The person from Zimbabwe, how many languages do you speak out there? Sarah says they are backing TJX RSF. I learned that from a show called Focus on Africa. Interesting. Bumika Rawat, okay. Tell me more about that. Tell me more about the show that's called Focus on Africa. Hi, beautiful. Good to see you, Rawat. Guys, keep liking the live stream. Let me know where you're watching me from. Also, let me know where you're watching me from. Let me know something that you've realized that's a fun fact about Africa, or something surprising about Africa. West Africans don't speak Bantu. Wow. You know, I think I can even as well ask Google what group do West Africans belong to. But because I know most South Africans are Bantus. Bob says, in my state alone, we have more than 5 main cultures and several not so popular ones. Wow. Wow. Okay. Muntu says Bantu starts in Cameroon going east, then all the way down south. Okay, wow. Okay, so of course we already know North Africans are mostly Amazigh and Arabs. West Africa. Okay, you know what? Because I don't think anybody has the answer. Let me Google. Let me ask Google about that. West Africans Bantu. You already told me no, but I want to find out. So what are they? Yeah, there are some West Africans in these some Bantus in West Africa. No, not really, because they are talking about Swazi, Xhosa, Ndebele, Umuntu. Wow, I think we can get the answer right now. Um, Sarah says it is on the BBC. It comes of a day, Monday through Friday. Okay, maybe I might check that out if possible. Richard, good to see you, Richard. Happy Tuesday on my way to work. Figured I'd drop by and say hi. Okay. Oh, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you have a good day at work. Muntu says West Africans are under Niger, Congo, which splits into Bantu and other West African languages. Are under Niger, Congo, which split. Oh, okay. Critique Sharma says, is that your real hair? Does it matter? Does it matter? Bhumika Rawat says, hey, I'm Bhumi from India. Here we speak. Ooh, fun fact. Okay. And this is nice. This is nice. If you're not from Africa, don't feel like you don't have anything to share. Tell me about your community. Tell me about your languages over there. And I think we also have this assumption. Most of us did have, personally, let me speak about myself. I had this assumption that all Europeans speak English. Okay, until I was old enough to until I was old enough to realize that even in Europe, everybody has their own language. Okay, but for them, they are not as many. I think they are as many as the number of countries, right? Sarah says, I think the first and only don't in a male-female friendship, in my opinion, is don't make friends of opposite gender. Wow. You said problem solved right there. Okay, don't make. What if you do? Because personally, I have male friends. Yeah, actually, I have male friends. Most of them are already married. Yeah, but like, so do you not become friends? How do you not become friends? Muntu says, just Google Niger Congo languages. It will explain better for you to understand. Okay, let me do that. I'm gonna do that right now. Niger Congo languages. The Niger Congo languages from a proposed family of African languages spoken across most of sub-Saharan Africa, from Senegal in the west to Kenya in the east, and from Nigeria to the north to South Africa in the south. Is the even in Nigeria there's the Bantu language in Nigeria is the largest language family in Africa by number of languages and geographical spread, and the third largest in the world by number of speakers, with approximately 600 to 700 million people using these languages. The family includes both widely spoken languages like Swahili, Yoruba, Igbo, Zulu, Shona, Lingala. Wow. Kwa. The Niger languages are divided into several branches. Mande, Atlant. Ooh, wow. It's a lot of them. Okay. I knew we learned that my tribe, the Kikuyu people, migrated from Congo to Kenya. So I see why. Sarah says male and female. Let me read from the laptop. It's way easier. Male and female friendships, I will listen and learn too. Okay, you don't have an opinion. Male and female friendships. Male and female friendships is just whereby you're just friends. See, like the way you're friends with your female friends or with your male friends, not the opposite gender. It's just the same way. Like, let me know some of the do's and don'ts in your opinion. We need friends of opposite. Bob says we need friends of opposite gender. That's my exact thought. I don't know why I kind of have like a not trusting relationship when it comes to female friendships. Not in a bad way, but I feel like when I have a friend of a opposite sex, we are not competing. We are not competing to see who is beautiful than the other one. So we both mostly just we literally we are just there, and I feel like nobody will show up for you like your male friends. They will literally show up. They're like, what can I do to help you? Like, that's my experience. Muntu says, Bumika says, I don't have friends, neither girl or no boy, so I don't know. Wow. Okay, that's bold. No one. You're saying Messi. I think some of us who are Ronaldo fans are going to get upset. Sarah says, no, this is far from truth. Most Europeans don't speak English on daily basis. Everyone has their own language and culture. Even in England, not everyone speaks English. They are Scottish, for example. Okay, you know what? I didn't know. I kind of like had that, not thinking about it. I was like, whenever I see a white person, I see an English person. I just thought everybody is English. Not to realize, like, I have a friend, her name, she's German, okay? Her name is Anika. So she was out here, and she was we lived together for like a month or two. She was my roommate for a long time. Okay, but we were mostly struggling to speak with each other. Like, I had to like type what I mean in English on her phone, and then she types and then translating, and that's why I realized like she couldn't speak English. And now, from ever since then, now I have realized with the social media, most Europeans do not speak English. But raise your hand if you thought, as a child, as a young person, if you thought all Europeans speak English, because I did. But Bob says, is my language Kalabari Bantu? Ooh, let me find out. Is Kalabari? I have never heard about that. Kalabari. Is Kalabari Bantu? Let's find out. Kalabari people are known for their traditional attire, which is a significant aspect of their cultural identity. Traditional Kalabari attires. Are they Bantus? Subgroup of Ijaw people. Are they Bantus? I don't think so. I don't think they are. Anybody with that information, kindly. I am putting it here. It doesn't say Bantu. Can somebody tell me the Kalabari people in Nigeria, are they Bantus? Wow. Now the chat is just going. Okay, Muntu says, but Nigeria has very, very few Bantu. The number is negligible in the grand scheme of things. So we just say it starts in Cameroon, okay? If you see surnames from Cameroon, you'll hear they sound like a language you might know. Really? Okay. Ooh, okay. But what I realize is like, for those who speak Bantu, how you say human, you say either Muntu, Mondo, Mutu, Umuntu, or something like that. Keep liking the live stream, guys, and let me know which country you're watching me from. Bumika says, if I were to choose my own culture, I would love to be Georgian. Why Georgian? Sadar says, the only English-speaking country in Europe is the UK. Scotland has its own language. Wales has its own language. Ireland, ironically, as I heard, Irish people don't even know Irish. Maybe not all. Okay, they speak English. Wow, that's interesting. So how many languages do you have in general in Europe, if we were to summarize? Because as I told you, Bob says that there's 500 languages in Nigeria. I already know there's 47 languages in Kenya. So if you were to count per every language, I think Africa might have like all over 5,000 languages. So how many languages in conclusion or in all at once do Europeans speak? Sada says, and speak English. Muntu says, Scotland speaks English, but they got colonized. Their language is called Gaelic. Wow. And that's how the language disappeared, by getting colonized. Muntu. You know, and that's what I was saying. For most of us who still, especially African countries, okay, for most of us who think other languages are better than our own, these languages are going to disappear. Because right now I am even seeing a trend, like for example out here, I'm seeing a trend where people are choosing to teach their children English and not their local languages, because teaching them their local languages is barbaric and it's old. It doesn't make the child look, classy, But all I have to say is I think you can speak so many languages. There's power in knowing your language. That's just what I feel. Wales and Ireland also have their own languages. So that's it. The only times we actually need to speak English is mostly interacting with foreigners. But in day-to-day life, we speak our own language. Wow. Okay, I think mostly that's why most Europeans don't speak English. Most Europeans speak very bad English, to be really honest. Not in a bad way, and I'm not saying bad. It's just because I thought everybody who is white spoke English. So I think, yeah, that's where they're going. And something that I've realized, if you keep interacting, like the whole day you don't use English, you kind of like, okay, you know what you want to say, but when you say it, it just sounds not pretty. Like, it just sounds like you're struggling. Non-shortcut. Hi. Bob says, we are in South Nigeria. Okay. Let me try to find out, Bob. I don't... Okay. Or maybe I should ask Google. Like, talking to Google. Let me... Kalabari people of Nigeria. Let me type that. I just wrote Kalabari people of Nigeria, Bantu. The Kalabari are a subgroup of the Ijaw people living in eastern Niger Delta region of Nigeria. Originally, they were known as the Awome. The name Kalabari was derived from their ancestor Perebo Kalabari, who was a son of Mainowi. So let me know, are they Bantus? Kalabari people are Ijaw settlers who came from the lineage of a man called Man. People are fishermen before coming of the Portuguese to West Africa. Oh, I think you guys are Nilots. Yeah. I don't know, but I think you guys are Nilots. It does not say if it's a Bantu, but it's I am looking at the list of Bantus. You're not there. Okay, let's solve this way. Okay, how do you say human in your language? Type it and I'll tell you if you're Bantu. Because everybody who is Bantu, when you say how is to say human, you say mutu, muntu, umuntu, mondo, evil. So let me know, I even started mixing Swahili in there. Muntu says, yes, muntu, munhu, mutu, mtu, many variations. Yeah, let me know how you, Bob, let me know how you say human in your language. And but I don't think, I looked at the list and I have not seen that right there. Sadaka says, in the whole European continent, though it's not a separate continent from Asia, but in whole Europe, it's like 150 to 200 languages. I think that's small. Here we have almost 5,000 languages. Wow. Muntu says, if your language disappears, the person's identity also disappears. So we have to preserve our languages. Some languages can't count to 10 in their own languages. Yeah, I feel like it's just because we feel like people are more cooler if they don't know how to speak their languages. But I feel like this is just a thought that Africans have. I don't think other people do have that thought. Like, if you don't know how to say things, you're struggling to speak you're struggling to speak your own language. It just seems to be so cool. I don't know if it happens in your countries, but I know it's something that I've observed here in Kenya. And I had an interaction with a lady, and I told her, do you think not teaching your child your language makes them cool? I don't think so. I don't think so. There's a way that you can teach them both. For example, personally, I know how to speak my mother tongue like anything else. Like, speak so much. Even though right now I live in a place where they don't speak my mother tongue. But I still have that. So Africa has to be careful. Frankie's Court says hi. Bob says, I wrote that info. You wrote that info, did you? Muntu says Kalabari is not Bantu. It falls under the Ijo language family. Orobo. Orobo. That's how you say man. Yeah. No, I don't think, maybe you guys are mostly you're Nilots. Even in Kenya we have Nilots who migrated from Nigeria, from West Africa. Oh wow, Orobo, that's not Bantu. Sada says, yeah, it's pretty small compared to other places on earth. Okay, Oru for mankind. Oru for mankind. Yeah. Okay, anybody who is Nilot from Kenya, please, or Nilot from anyone, let me know how you say man in your language. Okay, you know what? Let me research how to say man in a language in Kenya called Luo. How to say wow. It's not similar with the I researched how to say man in Luo, a community in Kenya. It's Jaluo. So wow. How to say man is Sadaka says, yeah, it's pretty Bob says Oru for mankind. I know that Oru. Okay. Muntu says Nilots are indigenous to areas along the Nile. Yeah. Okay, let me know if you're Nilot here. Let me know how you say man in your community, and also keep telling us whatever. If you're from Asia, let's hear some Asians. How many languages are spoken in Asia? Okay, maybe this is the topic that you guys want today. Begula says it's dichuo. That's how to say man, like how you say mutu. You say dichuo. It's dichuo. Yeah. So see. And that's Luo from Kenya, and they're Nilots. So that says, yeah, and Europe is not a separate continent. I don't know, we in geography learned about Eurasia as one continent, and makes sense because you could walk from Portugal to the farthest place in Russia near Alaska. Wow. So Europe and Asia is one? Really? Mutu says, but yes, some Nilots migrated west. Yeah, because we have Nilots in Kenya. Alvin. Okay, you don't love me, you like me. Okay, oh god. I think today the topic is mostly about culture and stuff like that. Let me know about your culture. The question was, if you were to choose which culture you came from, which one would you choose? Okay, which one would you choose? So if I was told not to choose any African culture or whatever, I think I would mostly go with Black American. I like their confidence. I like aspects of their culture. So if I was to be told not to be anything to do with African, I think I would want to be Black American. But that also comes with like just having English as your mother tongue. Asia is massive. Languages spoken are around 2,400. Wow. Muntu says, Yes, Europe is a peninsula, not a continent, but they like to call it a continent. Okay, but thank you for saying that, because I think how we are told in school is like we are told as if Africa is the smallest continent on the thing. Okay, and even how they make it so small on the thing. Okay, I am not complaining, but I'm just saying I think Africa is the largest continent. Okay, um the true continent is Eurasia. Wow. Sada says, yeah, it's one because it has no separation. Like example, Europe and Africa is separated by Mediterranean Sea, but Europe and Asia is just separated by mountains. But this don't count, I think. Doesn't count, I think. Okay. Wow. Huh. Bob says, I'd choose the Caribbean because their culture and religion came from West Africa. Ooh, wow, that's a nice one. So which means you get to retain the culture and thing, but you get to be in a different place. Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say that like I like Jamaicans and how they are loud about, something else that I was gonna say. Uh Begula says how it's drawn. Wow. Yeah, it's drawn. Africa is drawn like this small, minute thing that you can barely see. This small, minute thing that you can barely see. There's also something else that I was gonna say. When it comes to like skin bleaching in Africa, okay? See, for example, like I think our skin is black to adapt to the type of maybe heat that we have out here, you know but then you're seeing some of us doing the whole skin bleaching thing, and I was thinking about this because of the heat wave that is going on in Europe. Like Africa is naturally like that, like, and I'm not saying it's hot, because personally the type of heat that I hear people describing about Africa, I have never experienced it, okay? But I think we are black for a reason, okay? Because you can survive that type of heat when you don't have this melanin in your skin, right? Begula says how it's drawn. I've been quit. Bob says he just are in the Caribbean as well. Okay, really? But when people were taken from Africa, when they got to where they went, they dropped the culture. They don't speak the languages. Most of them have white names, right? But still, okay. Begula says Russia is both in Asia and Europe, so I don't know how those two are regarded as continents when they have a common country. Wow, when they have a common country. You know what? I was today's day old when I found out that Europe and Asia is one continent. I was today's day old, okay? I feel like for some reason Europe want to be its own continent so bad, just so that we can be able to portray it as this huge thing. I am just saying. Okay, and also making Africa to look like that small thing, okay? But I think the other thing is like for Africans, is like we never stand up for ourselves. We don't think that we are anything. We have done everything to even like eradicate our culture, to bleach our skins to look white. What makes other people think that our culture is better if we don't think so? Elina Munyel says, go and brush your hair. Come and brush it, nonsense. Sada says, I have the melanin protects from ultraviolet, from sun, I don't know. Dark skin is a protection and adaptation, I guess. I think so. I honestly, I think so too. And it makes me sad, especially with the heat wave going on. There's a lot of, I think yesterday the number was at like, I think 2,000 people who have lost lives in France due to the heat wave, okay? So you can only imagine if that's happening, because Europeans were not made for hot areas. They were made to stay in cold places. So yeah, that's something to consider. Slowburn says Caribbean culture, those guys are just living life. Okay, they're enjoying. Muntu says, but if you write an exam, just answer yes. Europe is a continent, so you can pass. Okay. God, I think they have allergy for information or for knowledge. Oh, insatiable. Oh my God, it's been a minute before I saw you here. How are you doing? Good morning, all the way from Alabama. The stargazer says, what is today's question? If you were to choose which culture you came from, apart from the one which you come from, which one would you choose? That's the question. And welcome to the live stream. Keep liking the live stream, guys. Sarah says, yeah, Russia could be both European and Asian, but most population of Russia is in European part. Also, the capital is in the European part, so I guess that's why it's considered European country. Okay. Wow, wow, wow. And the people are white. Bob says Africans need to stop having an inferiority complex, okay? Because you know what, you want to stand there and be respected when you don't respect yourself. You want to stand there and be respected when you don't respect who you are, you know? When you try to take away who you are, for example, languages, you're beating the language out of your children. When you hear them speaking, you hear them saying words in your local language, you want to tell them, shut up, like don't say that, so that they have this quote unquote English, is it Englishinized version, okay, when it comes to skin bleaching. Because I have done so much research on it, because there is a time I think I've given the story, I was having a lot of skin complications, okay? And there was this lady, she suggested to me this product that was really working, and I was like, why would she do that? Like, why would she suggest something that changes who I am? Okay, because to her anything is better than being black. Yeah, so Africans need to stop that, really. The stargazer says, I'm from Mars. Tell us about Mars. Josie says, hello, Amboy. Good to see you, Joazio. What do you think when it comes to what we are talking about? The stargazer says, where are you from? Kenya. I am Kenyan. Okay. Ooh, wow. I think today I have learned so many things. I have too much information now. That, you know, I am going to research about Europe and Asia being one continent. Maybe that's why we say Caucasian, Asian. You realize Caucasian is like we just add the Cauc to Asian. Wow, so it's the same thing. Wow. Yeah, but I feel like human beings, we always want to be different from each other. So anything is better than being told that we are similar. George says, I don't like bleaching cream. I prefer maintaining a complexion rather than that. Me too. But I gotta say that, like, when these products are pushed to you, there's even people who are using these products on young children, on themselves and their children, just so that they can have a particular. So I also prefer not to. The stargazer says, what's the time right now, evening or morning? It's 2 p.m. 2:57 p.m. Is it afternoon? When does evening start? But I think it's evening. 3 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes to 3 p.m. What's the time where you're at? So that says Caucasian is a region in present day Armenia, Georgia, Azerbaijan, because there are mountains called the Caucasus Mountains, but Caucasian as a term for a white person is incorrect. Okay, but I think, you know what, and I think this whole thing about what you mark, because I realize in the US they have these forms, like when you have to mark your race when you're telling who you are. They have Caucasian, they have Asian, they have all of that. But I maybe it's mostly in the US, because I don't see Europeans calling themselves Caucasian, but I see I see people in America calling themselves that. Okay, what are you, Caucasian? Asian. Wow, interesting. Loud doll. I think in my whole time streaming today is when I have had a lot of information. Um, about so many things, about so many things. So let me know about your culture. Today we are all about culture here. Let's talk about cultures and languages, and you can tell us anything, because something that I like about my live streams is like we have people from all over, so we we can literally have this conversation and educate each other. Because today I feel beautifully challenged, my friends. Did you know that Europe and Asia is one continent? Sadar says in America they call a white person Caucasian because a scientist went in Caucasus and saw the skull shape of people there, and they had the perfect skull shape. Wow. And now let me tell you, to be really honest, I kind of feel like people in the US, the history books in the US need to be reviewed. Okay, what they are told in school, we need to see what they are being told in school. Because I don't know, there's a time there was this streamer visiting Africa and all over. And I saw so many black people, black Americans, saying that they didn't know that Africans are humans. God. They didn't know that these are intelligent, that they were told that Africans are not intelligent. But indeed they are also black like we are. Okay, like, oh my God, these people can even speak English. Oh my God, not all of them live in, but see, that's basic common information. We have places where some people are poor, some people are not, okay? But just grouping people into one thing, which I think US is best at, is really messed up. Really messed up. Sarah says, and then he decided, like, okay, we are white, we are perfect, so these have perfect shape, then we are gonna be called Caucasians too. Real wow. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Oh my God, let me tell you, to be really honest, I want to see a world where black people conquer the world, because I feel like we have been at the bottom of everything, bottom of the food chain. We have been at the bottom of the food chain. Okay, so let's see. Caucasians, quote unquote, Caucasians look down on everybody, okay? And then we have, I don't know what's in between there, Middle Easterns look down on Asians. Asians look down on Latinos. Latinos look down on black people in the diaspora, or black Americans. And now everybody else gather, okay? Everybody else gather and then look down on Africans. Okay, so we are literally the ones who are at the bottom of the food chain. Can you imagine that? Muntu says, oh my God, there's Wi-Fi. Okay, let me tell you, so many times I've been here streaming and then somebody is asking me, oh my God, how are you able to stream? Like, bruh, like, do you think, the thing is, yes, and I have never said that I come from, well, I do not, first of all, like, personally, I come from struggle, okay? But having come from struggle, that does not mean that's what the whole place looks like. There's other places, you know, like the way we have 1% population of rich people, it's the same out here. We have people who are doing better than others. Okay, if you have the money, you can get access to internet, you can get access to a good house, plumbing, all of those things. It's all about the finances. Muntu says, I saw those videos when Speed came. You know, God, Lord. Sadar says, but I live in the Balkans, and when I heard for the first time they call a white person Caucasian, I was surprised, like, it doesn't make sense. You're not from there. Okay? God, you're anything but to look better than everybody else. Anything to feel better than anybody else. But isn't that what we're always trying to do? That's why we even have, like, for example, in Africa, everybody is black, okay? But now, how do we look down on each other? We look on each other down on the basis of tribes. Which tribe do you come from, okay? How do we see differences in each other, okay? By saying, oh my God, this group of people have a lot of black sorcery and witchcraft going on. That's how we look down on each other. Because I feel like for human beings, we have to look down on somebody. We need to. We kind of need to. Okay, that's why you're even seeing for African countries, we are out here saying, oh, we don't want this group of people in my country. Okay, we don't want this group of people in our country. Go back to how we are all black, my good friends. When the world look at us, they're just seeing they're looking at one thing. They're looking at your blackness. Okay, so even out here in Kenya, we even have gone so far to the extent where, like, when I see another Kenyan, let me tell you, I can tell you which tribe they come from. You know how? The shape of their nose. I don't know if you guys have that in your countries. Okay? We know how other tribes are like. Shape of your nose. I know somebody here who okay, my name gives out which tribe I come from. But when you look at me, some people who are Kenyan will know exactly which tribe I'm from. By my appearance, who have a big lip, who have big nose, you know, who have small ears. We have those type of stuff. Why? Bob says, at least the South Africans are united against other Africans. Okay, God, Lord. And when other people are looking at that, they're just seeing black, to be really honest. They can't understand these languages that you guys are speaking, saying, you guys are different than we are. But when everybody else is looking, like the way I said, I was looking at white people as one. Like I thought everybody spoke English. Just to realize these are different people, okay? Sada says, yeah, everyone have their own kind of prejudice everywhere. Not only in one specific place. Yeah. Okay, when you want to sit here and say that, like, we look down on each other based on, like, who is race, who is this, who is that, who is that. No. When even it comes down to, like, on a personal level or, like, on a country level, we have our own things. We have our own things. Like, now we come down to tribes. Muntu says, other people just see black people. They don't see South Africans or Nigerians. Okay, that's it. And that's it. You know, I used to see myself as a Kenyan. Like, that's who I am. Or, like, to be really honest, I have never seen myself. Okay, let me stop generalizing. I have never seen myself as a Kenyan, okay? I see myself as Kikuyu, which is the tribe that I am from, okay? But I realize when I come here and I'm streaming, everybody else, okay? What can I say? When you ask me where I am from and who I am, I say I'm Kenyan. And that's when I realized, oh my God, all this time I was thinking that I'm Kikuyu and looking down on everybody else or thinking that everybody else is not that cool. Like, doesn't make sense. Okay, that Rehan says, what kind of hair is that? What kind of hair is this? Knotless. It's called knotless. It's box braids knotless. CJ, good to see you. It's been a minute. I have not been streaming. How are you doing? Good morning. Sada says, not to forget, in Europe as well, some nations hate on others based on culture, religion, or politics. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Like, we will always have something. We will always have something against each other. You know, like for example, you even here in Africa, you hear people saying, okay, no, you can get married to Congolese or Nigerian or whatever. You know, there will always be something. For those joining in, if you were to choose which culture you came from, which one would you choose? And you can choose any culture. And I think today, this is the most fascinating conversation that I've ever had on this internet space or this YouTube channel. Today's day old when somebody said here that Europe and Asia is one continent. But, like, Europeans want, okay, and I think it's a European who said that, so you guys don't come for me, that Europe and Asia is one continent. They are not divided by like ocean or anything. It's just because Europeans want to see their continent as huge, Europe, you know. But Europe and Asia is one thing, really. King Radok, whatever, says, hi, how are you doing? Sarah says, many West Europeans, not all, look down on East Europeans or Balkans as well, because East Europe and Balkans are economically weaker than West Europe. You know what? I was just gonna say, you know, the country that you say you're from, Nobody knows about that. Nobody advertises people to travel there. We've seen movies about Emily in Paris. We've seen about London. We've seen about Germany. We've heard about France, Italy. But see, whatever you're talking from, Albania, Balkans, I have never heard about that. So it makes sense. It makes sense. So you guys are noticed. Do you guys also use the euro, or do you have another what is it called, currency? Okay, because I realized that Balkanas and the what you're talking about is not as advertised. Muntu says yes, the further you are removed from your locality, the more you realize you're part of a larger group. Yeah, you really are. You really are. For example, this conversation right here, I am Bantu, and so many Africans here are Bantu. So when I come down and say, you know what, I don't want Congo people in my country, and we are literally the same people, we just migrated in different regions. So Muntu says, if a Jamaican, a Trinidad, Black American, and Nigeria are in the same room, other people will just see Black people. That's what it is right there. Although people say that like Jamaicans and Trinidadians, all of that, their origin is West Africa. So, can I ask a question? Yes, you can. And guys, keep telling me where you're watching me from. Let me know your opinion when it comes to what we are talking about. Muntu says, that's why if someone asks me, I just say I'm African first before anything else, because I understand the psychology. I'll be more specific if they ask where I'm from exactly. Okay, but also this what is it called, this when we are looking at European countries, when we talk about Germany, we talk about Germany. Okay, how is it like when we talk about Africa, we talk about one group when it's really not? So there's also a lot of conflict when it comes to that. So that says Balkans is not a country, it's a region. Okay, oh, it's a region. So which country are you from? So that says euro currency is only a universal currency within European Union, political union. Not all European countries are in the union, and many use their own national currencies. Wow, do you use your own national currency, and how is it compared to the euro? Can the atmosphere change it? I don't know. You tell me. I said go and brush your hair. You know what? Come and brush it. Okay, like people are here talking about serious thing, and the only thing you can see is hair. Shame on you, idiot. Try to answer. No, I just cannot. Just tell me the answer. I don't have, like, we are here talking about cultures. I am so invested in this conversation, and then you guys just want to divert. Okay, Sada, I'm waiting for you to tell me which currency do you use in your country? This water is hot. Joseph Edward. Hi Joseph. Good to see you. Ruoto Marahaba says shillings. I'm asking the currency that is used in Eastern Europe. Yeah, I don't think it's shillings. Sarah says yes, and also there's a thing called Eurozone. Basically, countries in Eurozone use only euro, like Germany, France, etc. Countries like Romania, Croatia, I think etc. use their own money. Okay. Oh, but where you're from, you use the euro, right? Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, guys, welcome to the live stream. My good name is Omboy. Keep telling us, if you were to choose which culture you came from, which one would you choose and why? Okay. I think in the beginning, I said if I was not going to be Kikuyu, I was going to be Swahili, people from coastal Kenya. And if not that, if I don't have to be, I would like to be Black American. But thinking about it now, I think I would like to be Jamaican. Yeah, I would like to be. I feel like Jamaicans live in a lot of freedom. Freedom. So that's is not really sometimes, but it's mostly our own currency because we are not in the European Union, not in Eurozone, of course. Okay. Okay. What's the name of your currency? Wow. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. I think I am getting educated here. When I said that I stopped going to school and I will not touch a book, I think I was wrong because this is history, my friend. Okay, when you guys want to study history, click on this video. Uh oh, I'll give myself away so I won't say it. Okay. Okay, and you know what? That's also right because even for me, people keep asking me, "One boy, where are you from?" And I say I'm from Kenya, and then they're like, "So where are you right now? Like where are you filming this from right now?" And of course, most of the time I try to hit around the bush. Not like I'm worried or anything. If but I tell people where I'm from when it comes to my home where I'm from because out here everybody knows, out there everybody knows anybody. Here I don't know people, so I see what you're saying. You can be telling people everything. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so now that we're speaking about that also, let me know why do you guys think that uh Africa is considered the smallest continent, but it's literally the let me put that into context here. Let me put that into context. Which is the biggest continent? Largest. Let me say. God. I think next month I need to change provider. This is just becoming too much. Let me check if I'm. Tell me if I'm still live. Like. Wow. Okay, now the internet is not as good. I don't know what we're gonna do. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. Let me know if you guys can still see me. Oh, also I saw Sada. I saw you sent like a message. And then you retracted it. God, eh, internet issues. Okay, what was I saying? Let me know if you can see me. I don't know if I already said it. I saw it. You know, my laptop does not disconnect when my phone disconnects. So I see. Yeah, maybe you can reset the message, please. Okay, what I was saying was I did research. Which is the largest continent? Okay, me personally, I've always thought Europe is the largest continent. Asia is the largest continent in the world, covering approximately 30% of the Earth's total land area. It's not only the largest by land area, but also the most populous continent, housing a significant portion of global population. Okay, honestly, okay, for some reason I thought that Africa is huge. Uh, I thought Africa is supposed to be the biggest, but apparently Asia is the biggest. Okay, Asia 44.6. That Africa is 30. I don't know. Is it million square meters? Asian is 44.6 million square meters. Africa is 30 million square meters. North America is 24.5 million square kilometers. South America 17.8 Atlantica 14.2, Europe 9.9. Wow. So I thought actually Europe is the smallest. Europe is the smallest continent. Wow. Sadaka says, but if you know Alex Sarupukshi, he's the national poet of Russia, the most popular one. I found he had Ethiopian roots from his father's side, and he said he's proud of it. Okay, I don't know who that is, but wow. Wow. Ethiopian roots. Yeah, so which means Asia is the largest continent, followed by Africa and then North America. So Europe is the smallest one. Tell me you didn't think that Europe was the biggest continent. I thought so. Africa has 1.3 billion people. Asia 4.6 billion people. North America has 369 million. South America 431 million people. Antarctica, Europe has 746 million people. 746 million. Australia. Australia is the smallest. Okay. His grandfather name was Ibrahim Ganibor. Okay, wow. I think most people in Europe, for example, there was something that I was reading about Scotland where they bred out the black people in the place. So what that means is like where you keep breeding black people with white people, black people, when you keep breeding black and white, it eventually by the second generation is usually white people, and that's how they did breed out people in Scotland. Research about that, you'll find out. Most European countries had a lot of people who are black, and then they bred them out by mixing black and white. When you no, not black and white, no, when you mix black with white, it eventually results to white. I don't know about if you do that the other way around. My name says hello, good to see you. How are you doing? Let us know your contributions to the topic. Sadaka says, if Europe was a continent, it would be one of the smallest, because there is also Oceania or Australia among the smallest continents, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Australia is the smallest. I just found out. Is the smallest with, let me tell you guys. Australia, the smallest continent, at 9 million kilometer per square, whatever. Okay, with the population concentrated along the coast. Yeah, Australia is the smallest. Asia is the biggest, and then Africa. My name is Europe is West Asia. It's not even a continent. Okay, you know what? That's what I found out here right now. That's what I found out. That's what I found out right here. I thought Europe and Asia are different things, but Bob says, I thought Europe was the smallest. That's why after they thought themselves, they took it global. They thought themselves, they took it global. Okay. And see, all along, most of us have thought that Europe is a continent by itself, but apparently it's West Asia. It's the same thing, like it's the same continent with Asia. But they just want to be their own group. So that's if you could look at how Pushkin looked like, well, he looks white, but has curly hair. Okay, that has happened to many black people being not being bred out on purpose or whatever, but it's a practice that have happened, not innocently, like you just intermix people. Mark Shrek said, say hello please to Sham and Robin and me. Sham and Robin. Okay, hello Sham. Hi, hello to Sham and Robin. And you? Hello, Sham, Robin, and Shark. Still a bit. Hey, still a bit. Oh my God, can I get mod? I don't think so. I just saw you the first time here. Okay. Who is Sham and Robin? Who is Sham and Robin? If you don't mind. Okay. Wow. Let me tell you today. Honestly, today I just feel educated. I feel so much educated, my friends. Like I didn't know. Okay. You know what? Let me look at map of the world. Yeah. So I think this is the only place where you can find these type of things. We joke sometimes, and then other times we are studying because this is studies. Your news. Habari yako? Oh, mzuri sana. Uko aje? You know, I was thinking that I can start teaching Swahili. I don't know if you guys will sign up, but not. I don't know how many of you would like to know Swahili. I can start teaching you guys. Simo. Let us look at this mark. If you find Russians being racist, you can tell that their national poet was partly African. Okay, in a way. Yeah, they let us look at the map of the world. Okay. Make it large. Wow, I'm now looking at Pacific Ocean, Russia. Okay, let me show you guys what I'm looking at. I don't want it to capture Russia. Wow, so this is one thing. Literally one thing. Wow. Interessante. Okay. Wow. I don't think there's anything wrong with like interracial relationships or anything. But it's just good for people to know that method have been used before to remove black people from a population. I don't know if you are allowed to say that here. Okay. Wow, 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 wow. I don't know. Why does this thing look slanting? Weird. Okay. You guys keep telling me where you're watching me from. My good name is Wambowi. Why did this thing start counting again? Creepy. Sada says, nothing wrong with interracial relationships. You're marrying a human like you, but sometimes it can go complicated due to cultural and mentality differences. Yeah. I also feel like, okay, there's nothing wrong if you're doing it on purpose by yourself, okay? Or if you are, you know, you can't control who you fall in love with, can you? I don't think so, okay? But this method have also been used in places like Argentina. Okay, you guys, you should research about Argentina. There was a lot of black people in Argentina, and this method of breeding out was forced. This was forced to the black people. Okay, so that's how they were able to get rid of the black population. Okay, so this is a method that have been used. So I feel like if you're being forced to do it is not good. It's like, because that's like breeding horses. Can you imagine like breeding human beings like breeding horses? I don't think that's right. People should choose if they want to be in such situations. Okay, But considering this is something that have been used by countries that are well known, it's not something to play with, because these places, look at Argentina, like almost no, they had a huge black population, but they bred them out. I can control it. I'll fall in love with a rich woman, okay? You're so funny. Sadak says, as well, intention matters. If marrying someone from another culture for the sake of it, or to brag about it, then it's not a good intention. It's not towards the other one. Yeah. You know what? I feel like most people do it for uh the you know the you maybe Europeans, most of them who look for Africans or like black people, is just is to fulfill a curiosity. Maybe it could be sexual curiosity or whatever, like you want to know how are these people in bed. You want to know, if I was to have a child with a black person, how will this child behave like? Will they have my own? But it's wrong, because now you're having little human beings that you're not looking at them like humans, okay? For you, it's an experiment. But as soon as you realize that person is also human, like that's, yeah. Which is why, like, you have to be really careful in this type of relationships, because you have to know, is this a type of obsession that people have, or is it, you have to be sure that this person is in love with you, not the idea of you, like the color and stuff like that. I don't know, that's just my take. So that's it. Like, you wouldn't see the person, you'd see only the culture, not the that's what I'm talking about. You would only see the, it's, if you're with them, because I know a lot of people who are with black people just for the fetish, and there's a lot of other people, the other, I don't know if these things you can say here on YouTube, because that's why I'm trying to filter. There's other people who are with there's black people with white people for the so-called finances, to look cooler, to look more Englishized, or whatever that is, Oitanda says, hello, good to see you. Let me know how you're doing. Keep liking the live stream. Bob says, God forbid someone would use me as an experiment. Okay, but see, you will not know, okay? You, especially guy, for the guys, because they say that African men are well endowed. I don't know. They say that African men are well endowed, so they, anything for a good time, right? So that says, reproduction is a human thing. I think it's the same as everywhere. Also, same or similar problems that come after it. But not, okay, yeah, it is the same thing. But when it comes to somebody experimenting, can you imagine, like, you guys are experimenting and then there's a little human that comes as a result of the experiment. And then this human looks like both of you guys. I feel like it's complicated. That's why you have to be sure that if you are just doing an experiment, okay, so I don't know, so I don't think you can control being used as an experiment, because you will not know you're being used as an experiment, or as a curiosity thing, and all of that. I don't know, but all in all, I feel like we are all human at the end of the day. But that is just something that we all say, but it falls on deaf ears. We all say, we are all humans. At the end of the day, we are all humans. At the end of the day, no, we are not. Okay? At the end of the day, we see the girl. Okay, Bob, you cannot control that. You cannot control that. Especially the fact that you will be so pleased to have this chance to explore this side. You will also be curious. So you will not know. It will just happen. Oh my god. Like, I like the type of people. I think I have very intelligent people here on the channel. You guys educate me every other time. Every other specific single time. Okay. I don't know how I would react if I found out that I am an experiment and maybe that person is not interested. I don't know. If both of us we are doing a particular experiment, then it's kind of fine, but no, no, okay. Also, this, I don't know if you, there's also other cultures and traditions that Africans have started abandoning just for the sake of looking Englishinized, Europeanized, you know. Like for example, okay, and I'm not talking about FGM. I'm talking about circumcision of boys, you know. That's I think, okay, Sadam says, so good that I won't get married. I won't have issues of thinking, should I marry someone of my own culture or country or from another, okay? Okay, wow. So it's already a decision made. I feel like most people don't think about that. Maybe I'd make a friend from abroad, but even here, friendship should be based on genuine interest and helping each other, not to brag about it, or not to brag about it, or not even to like experiment. Like, you know what? I have a black friend. Like, I have a black friend. She's really nice. You know, I don't think. Um, Harry says, are you boy? Yes, I am a boy. Thank you. Slow Ban says circumcision is effed up the more I think about it. Okay. Okay, maybe this is too much to ask, but do you come from a society that is done? Okay. Because when you look at most African tribes and cultures and all of those things, they did do circumcisions, okay? But right now it's being talked about as something that's barbaric. I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. Uh, Bob says, I'd get married, but we must have proper written agreement on what happens to the kids. Okay. In your opinion, what should happen to the kids? Harry says, are you Chinese? No, I'm not. Are you Jewish or what? No, I'm not Jewish. In Africa, people do the circumcision, and it's not something that they have started doing right now. They have been doing it for ages. Oh, you meant Sloban? Okay. Your country? Jew. My country, yeah, I come from China, Harry. I am Chinese. Okay, guys, welcome to the live stream. Okay, Sloban, I'm waiting for your response. Sloban says circumcision is F up the more he thinks about it. Okay. You know what? Here on my channel, we talk about the uncomfortable because I don't think your height 4'3". Yeah, you know what? I'm just answering you rudely because you're trying to be rude to me, and I'm not going to remove you. So you just better quit asking me the questions. You know what? You're just wasting our time with unnecessary question. Okay. Let me write the thing. Your thoughts about circumcision for men. I'm not talking about FGM. VP. Poa. Who is telling you? Who is telling you to say that? The answer is Poa. Okay, I might start teaching you Swahili, guys. Okay, your thoughts on circumcision. Okay, and also when you're typing something, when it comes to this, make sure you are copying your thing so that it does not disappear. We all know that some topics are so sensitive. Okay, and guys, welcome to the live stream. Let me know how you're doing. Today we've been talking about everything, and you know, the world, things that, you know, African cultures, European cultures, Asia. So you can keep adding some input when it comes to that. Oh, your friend who has visited Africa many times is telling you what to say. Okay, VP. Poa, poa sana, poa sana. Habari gani? You can, I can start, you know, for those of you who want to sign up for Swahili lessons, holla me. Okay. I think you guys are not going to talk about this topic, you know, but I was just saying that, like, I feel like most Africans, you're being told that there's so many things that we used to do that also personally I don't support. For example, thinking about FGM, I just um I just lose words. Yeah, it didn't show up. That's why I told you it didn't show up. Your message didn't show up. When you type something when it comes to circumcision, make sure you use the kindest words possible, because YouTube will remove them. Okay, what I was saying is there's so many things about the African culture that we've been told they are barbaric and they are outdated and all of that. Don't get me wrong, there's so many things that, for example, like FGM, that I think, why would you do that? And I feel like that was happening just for men's selfish gain, okay? Just so that they can own a woman, they can take away a woman's desire to have sex, okay? So thinking about it that way, but and now I see the other side when it comes to the men. What is it for? And now being told that it's barbaric and outdated, it just makes me. It just makes me think. You see, like what I was talking about culture, it just makes me think that that's a part of our culture that's being taken away. Bob says circumcision for men is hygienic. Okay, it's hygienic. Okay, so most the other people will not contribute to that. Okay, it's good to hear. Mark says, are you on the good side or the bad side of the road? What does that mean? Because there is a lot of maybe good side. I think I am on the good side. But also I don't know. I think I'm everywhere. Thomas says, hey dear one boy, how are you doing, Thomas? Good to see you. You feel at home in the culture where you were born. Why should you wish for anything else? I adapt. Okay. Oh, you don't wish to be part of any other culture. Okay. But you know it could. Okay. You know, if you had to. This is where you put the question. We push the question. If you had to belong to another culture, which one would it be? Let's go with which one do you admire the most? Which one do you admire the most? Where is it? Okay, to be really honest, like, if I was not to be from my culture, then I don't think I would be one boy. Okay, I think I would be a whole different person. But if I was not going to be, so it's about which one do you maybe like, or something of the sort. Sarah says, I heard circumcision is helpful in hygiene. Should not be graphic. Without Saka. Oh, okay. Oh, so you have to type it like there's higher risk for bacteria gathering there. But I mean, proper hygiene helps, but it's personal decision after all. Okay. Yeah, it's personal decision. Okay, and see, because you said that, that's why I'm saying people coming out and saying these practices that Africans do, for example, like circumcisions, are outdated and whatever. You have to see the other person's side of the story. We just you know, because people, when they think about it, they think about primitiveness or anything. But I feel like people who have done it, these people have done it for years. So it's something that they have been kind. So coming in and terming a culture to be barbaric and outdated and all of that, I don't think that's helpful, really. Yeah. Wow. Okay, but I think, to be really honest, me personally, I don't like sugar coating. I feel like just because most Africans do this, okay, I don't know about Asia, I don't know about other places, okay, but I know most European, they don't do that, they don't believe in that, okay. But I'm just saying that, like, now that we're talking about culture, Africans should also be allowed to practice that, okay. I can see the other one, the FGM. I can see why it's um because I cannot imagine going through that, okay. Although my grandmother went through that, okay. So just trying to see both sides of the story. I don't know. I think this is too graphic. Sada says, I don't know what primitive is about it, because in modern medicine, people also do it. Perhaps let's do it, but it's a thing. Yeah, yeah. Even when young boys when they get sick in that area, that's exactly what they do. Okay, but yeah. It's a good thing. Guys, keep letting me know where you're watching me from. Let me know what is one culture or one thing that is done in your culture that you feel like people don't appreciate. Because that's one thing. I must now fly high. You must fly high. How high? How high? Higher, 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 or lower? Uh-huh. Yeah. So keep letting me know something about your culture that you said. Dharma says, you know what? I'm not beating around the bush. I'm saying as is. Circumcision or mutilation is actually a criminal act. Okay. Is it when done to boys or even when done to girls? Okay. Which one? When done to boys or when done to girls? Which one is criminal? So that's the same thing as becoming a eunuch. Eunuch. It's rare, but also a thing. But uh, also now there's chemical way to become that way, but it's still a thing. Wow. Ooh. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. What was the purpose of becoming a eunuch? Okay, because honestly, that is illegal. Okay, what is the thought? That's what I'm saying. You have to think about the thought behind the act. Uh, what was the cause? VP. VP, the answer is poor. Nico poor. Okay. So that was okay. I think you're typing, but I think the thing is, because you have to look at the thought behind. Okay. Personally, I think it's a crime when done to girls. Okay. But when it's done to boys, I just feel like maybe it's just something that has to be done, right? Because when you look at the thought, why it was being done to girls is that so that women do not enjoy having sex, right? Hello. Wow, I think for those of you who is your first time seeing me, you're like, oh my god, you talk about so many serious things here. We do, but sometimes we laugh, so maybe that's a reason for you to subscribe. Uh-huh. Down the way when the nights are gay and the sun shining in the mountain top. I don't like drinking cold water. Sada says eunuchs in ancient times were servants for the king or sultan. They were often around women or the sultan's harem so that they don't sleep with them. They became that way, but it was not an obligation. Okay. Wow. Just taking a man's manhood just so that he does not sleep with your women. God. that is more illegal than you know. Wow. Yeah, I think there's so many things that human beings have done as a result of insecurity. Uh, because when you look at FGM, female genital, whatever, I don't want to say that because I don't know. So when you look at that, this was just so that a man can be sure that his woman does not feel anything. So what would be the purpose of the experience for her? To please the man, right? So most of eunuchs did it voluntary. It was their personal decision. Okay. Wow. Ooh. Okay. Let me know. Keep letting me know one of the cultures that you think is not barbaric or whatever. Uh, you were talking about circumcision and the thought. I think maybe if I was born in another culture where they don't do it, I would feel like, why do those people do it? Maybe, okay, because you have to look from different sides. Okay, so maybe I would feel, why do those people do it? But because now you're coming from a society where they do it, you're like, why don't they do it? So it all makes sense. But yeah, in the long run, it's like, do what makes you happy. I think so. Yvonne says, hi, it's me, Yvonne Wayne. Yvonne Win? Is it Win? When? How are you doing, Yvonne? Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Okay, wow. I think this whole conversation about this, if I'm gonna go live tonight, which I'm not really sure, but we'll see. We're going to continue with that discussion. Yeah, so we're going to continue with that discussion because I feel like it's just few minutes before 4 p.m. So wow, I think this is one of the best live streams that I've ever, in terms of like the knowledge that I've gathered, what I have learned, and I hope it was the same for everybody who joined in. Yeah, so make sure guys you're sharing my live stream with other people. So I'm just gonna borrow some time here if anyone is typing so that they don't miss out. But we are literally ending the live stream. Oh my god, like sometimes I get tired with streaming, but whenever I stream I remember exactly why I do it. Yvonne, oh, you're from Australia. I remember you're from Australia. Sorry, my going to sleep is 11 p.m. It's 11 p.m. in Australia. Wow. It's just don't say sorry. You can't apologize for going to sleep, but thank you for tuning in. Out here is just 7 minutes to 4 p.m. 7 minutes to 4 p.m. and you guys are going to sleep, okay? So you have a good night, Yvonne. Yeah. And the exact definition of living in different time zones. Quite a shift in topics we had, from learning Europe and Asia are one content to the topic about eunuchs. Yeah, I know. That's something that I say, that like my live streams are not scripted. Okay, I script them sometimes because of the questions, but this one I also even didn't have the question. It just showed up, okay? So if you want to have more natural conversations, if you know somebody would appreciate laughing sometimes talking about silly things, and maybe other times talking about serious things, refer them to my channel. Thank you guys for your continued support. Hopefully I'll see you guys later on tonight. Have yourself a good evening, good morning, good afternoon. For those of you who are just going to sleep, good night. And I think I'll see you guys later on tonight with more topics. And we will keep asking questions and having answers, okay? And remember, we are going to continue the conversation about circumcision, okay? It's not going to be the entire conversation, but it will show up at some point, okay? So thank you guys for tuning in, and until next time, bye bye.